Chapter 375 of the Berserk manga was a real doozy of a chapter without a doubt. We got to see the story of Berserk unfold in a manner that is very different from the Berserk that we are used to seeing. There was Guts' depression, the invasion of Roderick's ship by the Cushion Navy, Isidro's anger at Guts for not moving a muscle when he's tied up in chains by the Cushion, and the prophecies of Daiba. There's literally so much to unpack in the chapter, and I'll continue to provide more analysis on this until a new chapter comes out. Who knows, some of my points might connect with the overarching story. But if there is one person that deserves a discussion in this video, it's Rickert and his part in the whole Cushion invasion and seeing Guts' condition. Suffice it to say that when we last saw him, he gave Griffith the old bitch slap and left Falconia with Silat, the Bakiraka, and Daiba. That was all we heard of him. A lot of people at that time had said that with Miura's passing, Rickert won't have much time to shine or even have an appearance in the manga. Of course, such a prediction makes sense because fans were skeptical of Kuryo Gaga and Koji Mori. But we were wrong. Not only did Rickert come back, he came back with a bang. From the looks of it all, he has somewhat of an important position with the Cushion army owing to his use of explosives and goddamn bazookas. Moreover, his understanding of the astral world. Griffith, Guts, and to a certain degree Causality gives him a superior edge since he can use them both to interact and provide intelligence and information to Silat and Daiba, two key players in the East. What I'm assuming is that the offensive that these guys are planning might hurt Griffith where it hurts the most. We cannot underestimate the impact that these cushions would have on the overall story. Out of everything that was happening in that chapter, there were two things that stood out the most. The first one was, of course, Rickert being a total Chad and telling Roderick that we're taking your vessel. I mean, can you imagine the amount of bluntness on this man? Not only does he have the pimp hand that slapped the shit out of a literal living god, he's also a mouthy one if I do say so myself. He wasted no time, didn't care if the man in front of him was friend or foe, and didn't care for his ethnicity. All he said was a simple, "We're taking your vessel," and didn't flinch once saying that. I tell you man, Rickert is a literal legend. I mean, besides the Eclipse, he's a man who's experienced the world that Griffith managed to create from the very beginning. Though he's been on the sidelines, he, along with Erica, have managed to survive this long because of their ingenuity and intelligence. But now, he's come back from the sidelines stronger than ever, having pimp slapped Griffith and now forming a plot to overthrow him. He's grown up enough to tell a man way older than him that, hey, we're seizing your vessel and there's nothing you can do about it. The second interesting part about Rickert is at the very end where Rickert is looking at Guts while he's passed out. The interesting detail to note with this is the fact that Puck is sitting on top of Guts and looking at Rickert curiously. So technically both Puck and Rickert are looking at one another while Guts is in the foreground passed out. It gets interesting when you consider the history between the two. Rickert, for who don't know, has been part of Causality since day one, even though he wasn't fated to die in the Eclipse. His role in the grand scheme of Causality was different. During the Eclipse, we see Rickert outside the vortex. He didn't arrive there on accident. He arrived there while traveling with a circus troupe who rescued him after he witnessed the atrocities committed by the Count and Rosine before the Eclipse. This was the same circus troupe that Puck was a member of. The troupe leader incidentally gave Rickert Puck's fairy dust that he used to revive the wounds of Casca and Guts after Skull Knight saved them from the Eclipse. It's not a coincidence that Rickert was dropped off at just exactly the place where the Eclipse was taking place. It was again Causality at play. Though this moment was Rickert's first interaction with Puck, Rickert was too horrified to see Puck up close partly because of Rosine and what she did to his comrades. The only difference between Rosine and Puck is size and the level of malice inside of them. Otherwise, they're technically both elves. Rickert receiving the fairy dust from the troupe, which I'm 90% sure was Puck's, wasn't a coincidence either. It was bound to happen. Or, as Void would say it, all lies within the current of Causality. Another important side note here is that Judeo was actually a part of that same troupe before he became a member of the Band of the Hawk. He used fairy dust to heal Casca's wounds at one point during the Golden Age arc. Post-Golden Age, in the Conviction arc, we see a handful of good conversations between Puck and Rickert about the condition of Guts after the Eclipse. Again, all of this is not conjecture, it's all in the manga for people to read. The tie that connects Puck and Rickert is Guts. And is this reason why this scene is so powerful? Both of these individuals have seen Guts at the lowest point of his life, have seen him navigate through his demons and fight against them. Hell, Puck even managed to see a sad Guts ready to cry during the Black Swordsman arc. God damn it, thinking about that scene makes me realize how important the Black Swordsman arc truly was. So technically both are connected through both guts and causality, and seeing them look at one another should put a shiver in your spine. This scene is small, but it showcases the mutual worry of both the characters and seeing their friend be in such an unbelievable state. Both of them have seen the kind of struggler that Guts is, and seeing him in this sorry state is enough of a concern for them. Another side note here is that Guts once told Rickert that he could never truly come to hate Griffith. Maybe Guts' condition right now might prove to be enough of a catalyst to make Rickert hate Griffith. All in all, I feel that Rickert's story progression, while few and far in between, nonetheless have turned him into a very skilled individual and a good leader of men. His appearances throughout the manga truly emphasize the quality over quantity approach that Kentaro Miura is famous for. If you like this video, please subscribe and thanks for watching.